Now let's create the add vertex method. And all we're creating here is this. In the next video, we'll create our add edge method, and then we'll be able to do things like this. But for now, this is all we're creating. So when we add the first vertex into the graph, it's going to look like this. So let's bring this down here and we'll create this. So we're going to say class graph. So the first thing we need to do is create a constructor. So I added this into the add vertex method because this is a pretty simple constructor. So it'll be like this. And then we create a dictionary. I'll call mine adjacency list. And it's just an empty dictionary. So it didn't make sense to create a separate video for that. So I went ahead and just added it here. But what that creates is this. And then the add vertex method is going to be the part that does this. So now let's create that method. So we'll say add vertex, and we're going to pass it whatever value we want that vertex to have. Then we'll add that as a key to our adjacency list and set it equal to an empty list. But there is a step we need to do before this line of code, because we don't want to have duplicates in our graph. So to walk through this line here, if vertex not in self.adjacencylist.keys. In other words, if the vertex isn't already in our adjacency list, only then are we going to add it. And then we'll return true that we were able to add that. And if this if statement equates to false, we'll bypass all of this and return false. All right, now let's go look at this in VS Code. So there is our class graph, and this is our constructor here. I also created a method to be able to print out the graph here. And this is the add vertex method that we just created. So I'm going to scroll this up. And this is where we create our graph. We'll call it my graph. And then we'll say my graph.add vertex with the letter A. And then with this line here, we will print out that graph. So I'll run this. And you can see our new vertex A with an empty list. All right, so that is our method for add vertex.